After all the windows on the ground floor had been broken, after all the undemanding officers had spoken, after all the trouble, after all of the commotion, I walked right through the door. It was always open. When I was 17, I set out on the ocean, searching for Columbus or wherever he was going. And then 20,000 miles came down to just a moment. I sailed right through the door. It was always open. I climbed the western wall without anybody knowing. I held the guardsman captive with a pistol I had stolen. But he just poured a cup of coffee and said, "Son, now here's a notion. The next time you drop by the door, it's always open." I waited for the sun, but it was already dawn. It was already dawn, breaking fast all along. And I waited for her song, but she was already gone. She was already gone, breaking fast all along. So it seems I've spent a lifetime arrested and beholden, standing on the threshold, absolutely frozen, waiting on some God above to tell me I was chosen. Instead I spoke myself, the door was always open. Instead I spoke myself, the door was always open. From a water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland, it's the third episode of the Song Show. How are you doing? Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for coming back. Tonight we have a very special guest coming up later named Michaela Anne. She's going to come on, chat with us a little bit. We're going to celebrate the songs of Tom Petty, and we're going to have a sweet soft boy poem corner by Dylan Thomas, one of my favorite poets. So strap in, you guys. It's about to get serious. Let's start with a few more of mine here. I woke up after breakfast. I left her bedroom late. The streets were filled with strangers, half expecting a parade. I never saw it coming as the first applause began. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Silver on my fingers, sugar on my tongue. My father stood behind me and he asked what I'd become. I said I speak a language that you'll never understand. They say that truth and justice must be their only reward. I grew rich pretending while the honest one poor. Don't you play dumb about it when you're on that witness stand. Why the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Yeah, the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Thank you. That's Blues Came Down off of The Flood and Color, the album that came out pretty much a year ago. This time last year, I was getting ready to release the album. We were about a week away from the album, and I got called for jury duty, and I had to sit on. They called me up, and I didn't think that they were actually going to use me, and then I got impaneled on a capital murder trial as a juror. And so the week leading up to The Flood and Color coming out, I was pretty much experiencing the heaviest adult situation in my life. And I was in court the day that The Flood and Color came out, the whole day. And it was just such a trip to be in the courtroom in such a sober and serious place, and then to come out and check my phone and see, people listening to the record. So that was my year. Last year, I was very happy to put out the record, very happy to do my civic duty, but man, I tell you what, that's not a place where you want to be, is at a murder trial, man. Anyway, let's get things a little bit lighter going on here. Let's play another song off The Flood and Color, since we're kind of doing a commemoration here. I do remember there's a chance when they're selecting the jury members where the judge asked the whole room of people, he says to the room of people, he's like, listen, does anyone here have a very good reason for not being able to be on this jury? Like you would be impartial in some way. And I'd say if there's 200 people there, maybe 15 stood up and they were giving different responses. They'd say things like, well, I've been a victim of violent crime before, so I would be, not impartial in some way. And then there was this one 18-year-old kid who you could tell just really didn't want to sit on the the jury. And when it got to him, the judge said, and you, young man, why cannot you be on this jury? And he said, well, Your Honor, I'm Catholic, and so I have very strong feelings about murder. And the judge just looked at the kid and he was like, and that would stop you from being impartial? And the kid realized at that point that he was such a jackass that he backed down. But I'll never forget that kid described his faith by saying, I have very strong feelings about murder. Anyway, here's the first song off The Flood and Color. Clap of lightning, high awaken to a foot of water standing in my basement. Started rising, took me under. The flood has come. This is not history in black and white now. In a perfect storm there isn't any high ground. The end of childhood, the end of summer, the flood and color. tried to warn me, I wouldn't listen. And now all at once I'm drowning in my kitchen. My legs are broken from treading water. The flood is coming, the flood is coming. I tried to bargain, I tried to reason, but the sky was deaf, the rain was never ceasing. It's not some cheap bed I can cover the flooding color, the flooding color. Listen close now, I was dead wrong to think that things could work themselves out in the long run. Pay attention, heed the thunder, the flood is coming, the flooding color. Well, the flood really was coming for me last year. Sitting in that courtroom in Upper Marlboro. Let's see. Hey, give me a shout out here in the comments. Let me know where everybody is. This is one of my favorite parts of the show every week, is just to see where people are at. Well, people are already, they're repping my Gansett shirt. If you're not familiar from the area, Narragansett is basically the old style beer of, Old style is to Chicago as Narragansett is to New England, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or National Bohemian in Baltimore, or Lone Star in Texas. It's pretty good beer, really good beer. Okay, Brett's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Okay, you're north of Boston. Nick is. You should grab yourself a Gansett then. Real Foot Lake, Tennessee. That sounds about right. Oh man, these St. Augustine peeps, they just won't. They're trying to rep really hard in here. I mean, just pound for pound. Last week they were definitely the most represented per capita city here. We're glad to see you back. I'm happy for that. Ramsey loves Gansett, as you well should. I mean, I got a buddy, Bernard John, who works for them, who he sends me beer in the mail sometimes because I like the sauce. Joe's in Minneapolis, Chelsea, Michigan, Somerville. Awesome. All right, guys, thanks for being here tonight, man. This is awesome. In San Talos, you're probably in North Carolina right now, aren't you, Sam? Good to see you, buddy. Okay. I love seeing where everybody is. I'm too old to play things out of tune. Let's see. I hope you guys appreciate the choreography that has to go into this show every night. Not only do I have to get all the camera and lights set up, but we have to, because I'm just at my house, we have to really choreograph when my son stops watching his movie and get him to a room where he's a lot more quiet. So that's a lot of wrangling on my family's part to make that happen. So shout out to the rest of my family for wrangling my son. This is off an album called The Great Despiser. To meet me is to dare into the darkness. But if you are devoted to a dream, go and light the lantern, leave your family abandoned. Meet me by the shallow of the stream.
Oh, meet me by the shallow of the stream. Ask me, is to love with hesitation? My answer is the same as it has been. Here is my affection, no conditions and no questions. Open up the door and let me in. Oh, open up the door and let me in. Trust me is to travel past the towers. Those who make it back from here are few. It takes all of your devotion to have courage for a moment. The world is bested better men than you. Oh, the world is bested better men than you. To love me is to sit upon the mountain. Every step is harder than the last, but to find the step above it is to triumph, is to summit. Taste the frigid water from the tap. Oh, taste the frigid water from the tap. Curse me for the life we left behind us, is to misremember what was cost. For from the vacant cradle to the empty kitchen table, show me what was precious that was lost. Oh, I'm sorry that I said it, and I know it might be reckless. Oh, show me what was precious that was lost.
Thank you. I'm going to now I want to play a few of these Tom Petty songs I told you I was going to play. I really I don't think I chose anything too obvious, and I really wanted to focus on this period of his life. You know, he really hit a creative peak like in his mid-40s, strangely. I don't think a lot of songwriters kind of peaked then, and he sure did. And coincided with a divorce, so you know, maybe that's an inspiring time for better or for worse. I know Willie Nelson wrote a great album, Phases and Stages, when he got divorced, but he obviously he wrote that album Wildflowers that a lot of people love. I love that album. And then a couple other albums around then. He did a soundtrack called She's the One that just has a lot of great songs on it, and then an album called Echo. And those three records, Wildflowers, She's the One, and Echo, I think are of a piece. That was like a creative period of his. And I'm going to play you a few of my favorite songs from that version of Tom Petty's career. Cool. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I can see everything tonight. I got a room where everyone can have a drink, forget those things that went wrong in their life. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. And I ain't coming down. I got someone who loves me tonight. Got over 1,000
Look deep in the eyes of love. Look deep in the eyes of love and find out what you were looking for. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. And I ain't coming down. I wish I could feel you tonight. Little one, you're so far away. I wanna reach out, touch your heart. Yeah, like they do in the TV show. I love you, please love me. I'm not so bad. Yeah, and I love you so. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. And I ain't coming down. No, I ain't coming down.
That's Tom Petty. That's the first song off that record, Echo, I was telling you about. The other thing that really corresponds in that era of his is the drummer Steve Ferrone's playing on all that. And you really, if you go listen to that song, it opens up Echo. If you go listen to Top of the World, you'll hear Ferrone's drumming on there, and it's awesome. Here's another one from that period. I think this one is from the She's the One soundtrack. But like I said, Petty did the whole soundtrack, so I kind of look at this as a mini Tom Petty album.
I dreamed you, I saw your face, caught my lifeline drifting through space. I saw an angel, I saw my faith. I can only thank God it was not too late. Over mountains I floated away, crossing ocean I dreamed your name. I followed an angel down through the gate. I can only thank God it was not too late. Oh, sing a little song of loneliness, sing along to make me smile. Another round for everyone, I'm here for a little while. Now I'm walking these streets on my own, but she's with me wherever I go. Yeah, I found an angel, I found my place. I can only thank God it was not too late. I can only thank God it was not too late. I can only thank God it was not too late.
It's Angel Dream, number 4 off She's the One. And that's just the point with Petty, man, is like, these are like, in his catalog, these are like, not even B-sides, these are like C, D, or E sides, you know. And they are better than, you know, the best songs in 95% of people's catalog, man, I think. I just think it's beautiful stuff. I'm a stan, as the kids say. I'm just a dyed-in-the-wool Petty fan. I love this stuff. I love this period of his so much. I found so much to bite on to. Here's one. This is also off She's the One. I heard this on the radio once. I don't know how the hell someone got permission to play this on the radio, because it's a pretty obscure song. But this is vintage Petty, man. And you'll hear, like, at the end of the little tag at the end of the chorus, it's just the vintage classic Tom Petty tag.
Had to find some higher ground, had some fear to get around. You can't say what you don't know. Later on won't work no more. Last time through I hid my tracks so well I could not get back. Yeah, my way was hard to find. Can't sell your soul for a peace of mind. Square one, my slate is clear. Rest your head on me, my dear. Took a world of trouble, took a world of tears, took a long time to get back here. Tried so hard to stand alone, struggled to see past my nose. Always had more dogs than bones. I could never wear those clothes. And it's a dark victory. You won and you also lost. Told her you were satisfied, but it never came across. Square one, my slate is clear. Rest your head on me, my dear. Took a world of trouble, took a world of tears, took a long time to get back here. Square one, my slate is clear. Rest your head on me, my dear. Took a world of trouble, took a world of tears, took a long time to get back here.
I love you, Tom Petty. Rest in peace. Yeah, it's just that little tag at the end, the to get back here. That's like no one else but Tom Petty, man. No one else. All right, well, we're going to bring in a very special guest. This is a woman whose songs I love. Her latest album is wonderful. It's, if you love country music, it's what you want to listen to. We've done a fair amount of touring together. She's a great live performer, and most importantly, she was kind enough to return my email. That's one of the main requirements. The baseline first requirement for being on this show is just returning my email. So here's a wonderful songwriter who is excellent with email etiquette. Please welcome to the show, Michaela Anne. Michaela, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing? I'm very bright.
Considering the circumstances, yeah, you are bright, but that's good. That works. That works for the
Okay.
show. It's a good contrast. We're kind of the angel and devil on somebody's shoulders
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at it. How are you doing? You're writing out COVID in Nashville. What are you up to? Are you writing? Are you being productive? Or are you just staring out of a window drunkenly?
No, well, probably all of them. So I I've been writing. I'm planning to record a new album. I'm luckily married to a musician who's also a sound engineer and producer, and we have a studio in our basement. So we're planning to record. But there's definitely a lot of days where I'm just kind of staring and a little drunk, and so
Now, let me ask you,
yeah.
because I've been thinking a lot. I have a project that I want to record in the next, 6 months, and I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to, getting people in a small room for long periods of time is basically like the last thing that we're going to be able to do. How are you guys going to do that? Are you going to bring in one musician at a time? Or are you going to have people fly tracks to you? How are you going to do it?
I think we're going to do both. It will feel different. I'm kind of really interested in just experiencing a record under these circumstances. In the past, I've always wanted to kind of have a live band and for kind of the base of the tracks and then build off of it. But we won't be doing that this time, so it will be a bit different of an experience. I'm curious about that and how that might change my relationship to the songs and the recording. But we're definitely going to have to do one by one and flying in tracks and stuff like that.
Knowing that that's the way that you're going to record it, have you found yourself writing a little bit differently?
Yes, I've been writing a lot more on the piano, so I'm kind of curious. I think not having a band there will kind of open up options so you won't feel like, oh, every song is kind of a rock band setting and then we'll add from there. So this will kind of give us the freedom, and I have been thinking about that with writing songs of like, well, is this going to be just piano? What kind of instrumentation? It's wide open.
Yeah, there's that saying, when your tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and when you have a drummer in the band, every song seems like it has to have drums on it. So, in a similar way.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, now listen,
Yeah, and my husband is a drummer, so I'm like, sorry, you don't have to play everything.
fair enough, fair enough. Well, we would very much love it if you would play a tune for us. What are you planning on playing for us tonight?
I'm going to play By Our Design, which is off my last record, and it's really kind of about the simplicity of everyday life and at the same time the magnitude of figuring out how to live your life the way you want to. And those are two things that I think a lot about during this time in the pandemic.
Amen to that. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Michaela Anne.
You wake up first, put the kettle on and pour me a cup of coffee. With two cats in a southern ranch, we're making little family with barely a dime and some troubled times. We keep getting by on dreams. Just look at us, carving out our own time. You and me, living life by our design. Straight jobs and steady pay were never in our cards to play. Late nights and songs to sing and long drives are our trade. Chasing mountain highs and painted skies will keep us on our way. Just look at us, carving out our own time. You and me, living life by our design. Just look at us, carving out our own time. You and me, living life by our design. You and me.
Absolutely beautiful. Michaela, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was so nice to see you and hear you again. Hopefully someday again in person.
Hopefully one day IRL. Where can people find your music? Are there any projects that you're up to right now that they can seek out?
Yeah, I'm on everything, Amazon, Spotify, Apple. I have a website, michaelaanne.com, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the usuals. I'm not on TikTok or Snapchat though.
That's good. That means the Chinese government doesn't have your social security number, so you're in good shape.
Very good.
Um,
Yeah, but I've been taking this month off a little bit, but I have been doing my own live stream every week that has a fundraising component that I
Perfect.
raise money for a different charity every week, and donate 50% of any tips. So
Awesome.
that's been a fun thing I've been doing.
So where and when is that?
That's usually every Thursday night.
Awesome.
This I'll post on all my socials this week. I've been taking this month off, but I'll be starting back up next week.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, Michaela, thank you so much. And yeah, I hope to see you in person. And best of luck with that record in the basement. I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you. Thank you. Say hi to your family. I hope
I
everyone's
sure will.
well.
I sure will. Okay. Peace. Thank you to Michaela. That was beautiful. I think that was the best tech that we've had so far from one of our guests. So thank God for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, but it is officially it's America's favorite time to cry. Soft Boy Poem Corner back in the house. We're going to read one by Uncle Dylan Thomas. And as we continue to do this show, I'm going to read a lot of different poets, but you're going to notice a lot of Dylan Thomas sprinkled in here because he is foundational as far as I'm concerned, I think. So let's read his classic. This is a long poem, but this is if we're going to start with one here on the song show, we got to go with this one. It's called Fern Hill. Now as I was young and easy under the apple boughs, about the lilting house, and happy as the grass was green, the night above the dingle starry, time let me hail and climb golden in the heydays of his eyes. And honored among wagons I was prince of the apple towns, and once below a time I lordly had the trees and leaves trail with daisies and barley down the rivers of the windfall light. And as I was green and carefree, famous among the barns, about the happy yard, and singing as the farm was home, in the sun that is young once only, time let me play and be golden in the mercy of his means. And green and golden, I was huntsman and herdsman, the calves sang to my horn, the foxes on the hills barked clear and cold, and the Sabbath rang slowly in the pebbles of the holy streams. All the sun long it was running, it was lovely. The hayfields high as the house, the tunes from the chimneys, it was air and plain, lovely and watery, and fire green as grass. And nightly under the simple stars, as I rode to sleep, the owls were bearing the farm away. All the moon long I heard, blessed among stables, the night jars flying with the ricks, and the horses flashing into the dark. And then to awake, and the farm, like a wanderer, white with dew, come back, the cock on his shoulder. It was all shining. It was Adam and maiden, the sky gathered again, and the sun grew round that very day. So it must have been after the birth of the simple light in the first spinning place, the spellbound horses walking warm out of the whinnying green stable onto the fields of praise. And honored among foxes and pheasants by the gay house, under the new-made clouds, and happy as the heart was long, in the sun born over and over, I ran my heedless ways. My wishes raced through the house high hay, and nothing I cared at my sky blue trades that time allows in all his tuneful turnings so few and such morning songs before the children green and golden follow him out of grace. Nothing I cared in the lamb-white days that time would take me up to the swallow-thronged loft by the shadow of my hand, in the moon that is always rising, nor that riding to sleep I should hear him fly with the high fields and wake to the farm, forever fled from the childless land. Oh, as I was young and easy in the mercy of his means, time held me green and dying, though I sang in my chains like the sea. What the hell are you supposed to do about that, man? That's beautiful. Okay, let's take some questions. Let's take some requests. I'd love to play some songs that you guys want to hear. Oh, and always with this, in the request part of the show, we'd love it if you bought a ticket via PayPal or Venmo, whatever you feel like. Let's see here. What do you guys want to hear? Oh, here's a nice compliment that I'm always happy to take. Hey, your stage banter is always on point. I appreciate that. Slang from 1997, working its way here. It's after my own heart. Which performers inspired you in that regard? Definitely Todd Snyder is right now the undisputed king of being able to tie stuff together on stage with his banter. I mean, it's almost like 30% of his show is that. So I learned a lot at the feet of Todd Snyder, man. And you know, I've seen a lot of his shows, and there is a structure to them, and he does the same stories sometimes, but they're all weaved together in different ways, and he's always playing off the audience. He's always 100% present in the moment. So, yeah, that's the guy who I'm trying to hold a candle to, because he's just beautiful. Purple Haze. What's the matter with you, sir? Are you a monster? Want me to play Purple Haze on acoustic guitar? Yeah, Aubrey wants to hear Unsophisticated Heart. Did I do this last week? Here's where I'm an idiot. I kind of feel like I did that last week. Can someone put down in the comments, did I do that last week? Well, here, I'll just do one. I'll do a different one. Here, let's, Kevin wants to hear After Curfew. Sure, absolutely. This is a pretty dark song off the last record. This song's probably about tyranny, I would say. We found you in the street with a list of all our names. There were stars beside the strongest and the weakest. They cut you quite a deal, almost too good to refuse. But some of us don't just worship what's convenient. We thought that our distance was safe, but wickedness can travel. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. And your father, rest his soul, the finest man I ever knew, spoke a truth that was clean as an island. They gave him every chance to repeat the party line, but he shattered their windows with his silence. So they took him out back in the rain, and they made him an example. But you are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile.
they're rounding up the boys in the nation after war, and they left behind the two-faced and the useless. On the first of every month, the neighbors gather on our lawn, and we dance for their mercy like we're minstrels. They dug up the headstones last night and broke them in the gravel. But you are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile.
That was After Curfew, and I think that was for Aubrey. She requested that. Let's see. What else you guys want to hear? Yeah, Joe wants to hear the Great Despiser. You got it, man. I could do that. I could do that. Hold on, guys. Like I told you, I'm too old to play things out of tune. I just can't do it. Copped it.
Hey little brother, did you hear I made it back to town? I'm getting sober, there's some things I gotta figure out. I saw the station and the light we used to run around. I could have sworn that there were things I used to care about. Oh, so pleased to see it's been so long. Where you been since I've been gone? What were all those words we used to shout? I am the great despiser. I hold myself beside her. I often hope for fire. I am the great despiser. Hey little brother, did you hear I'm slipping back and forth? I'm getting older, man, it's barely worth it anymore. I had a dream that we were sitting on the summer porch. It seemed like everything was just the way it was before. Oh, so pleased to see you. Been so long. Where you been since I've been gone? What were all these frozen letters for? I am the great despiser. beside her. I often hope for fire. I am the great despiser. I don't wanna care about it anymore. 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 Ooh. I don't know what happened on the tuning to that one. My bad. Hey man, it's a song show. I'm running the lights, I'm running the camera, I'm running the computer, I'm tuning the guitar. Some things are going to get lost in the wash, all right? Do some questions. So Tim asks, what was your process like approaching the piano? Was it an instrument that you already played? No, I never learned how to play the piano really. And a couple of years ago when I started putting it into shows, I thought to myself, well, maybe I should get lessons. I should learn how to actually play this thing. But I decided against that, not out of sheer ineptitude and laziness, although maybe it's the case with so many other things in my life that how could you even separate things out at this point? But I don't think it was because of ineptitude and laziness. My thought was this: I like to write songs on piano, and on guitar I know exactly what I'm doing because I've just played it for so long, and I took lessons when I was a kid. And so I can't really surprise myself on guitar when I'm writing a song, whereas with piano, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, so that when I sit down to it, it's almost like a beginner's mind type of thing. Like I have no schema for what the keyboard is able to do or not do. I just have to start hitting keys and playing chords and just really listening. And it makes me listen in a different way than when I play guitar. I think it leads to different melodies that I wouldn't normally play, or counter melodies that I wouldn't normally come up with. So that's how I approached the piano. That's how I justified, not formally, learning the piano. Yes, so the piano behind me did survive the flood, but I'd love to play it for you. I'm working on a situation in the song show where I can have a camera and a mic back there so we can play on that as well. And we'll get there, I promise that. Let's see. Favorite studio I recorded in. The last album we did in Nashville was at a place called House of Blues Studios, and that was really cool. I think we were the last record that they did in there, and I think Columbia might have bought it. It would just be like a house studio for artists that came into town, but that was a wonderful studio, House of Blues Studio. I don't think it's called that anymore. Let's see. David Morton wants to hear Sin City. All right, that's not one of my songs, but I'll definitely play it. I think coming up here, I'll probably do a night of playing Burrito Brothers songs. This is a great song. The Flying Burrito Brothers, if you're not familiar, if you play kind of folk or country music or singer-songwriter music, whatever the hell you call this, Americana music, you really could say that the founding of that came when a band... No, this is a Bird song. This isn't a Flying Burrito Brothers song. What I'm trying to talk about is the Byrds. When the Byrds released an album called Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Okay, I'm completely confused now. Sweetheart of the Rodeo was definitely a seminal album in the Americana movement. And I think this Flying Burrito Brothers song is from a totally different band. But you can put together Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds from this era. That's really the start of kind of the modern Americana sound. And this is a cornerstone song from that. This old town is filled with sin. You could follow you. Hold on. This old town is filled with sin. It'll swallow you in you've got some money to burn, take it home right away. You got 3 years to pay, but Satan is waiting his turn. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. Seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, your gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. The scientists say it'll all wash away, but we don't believe anymore, 'cause we got our recruits in our green mohair suits. So please show your ID at the door. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, your gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. A friend came around, tried to clean up this town. His ideas made some people mad. He trusted in his crowd, so he spoke right out loud, and they lost the best friend they had. This old earthquake's gonna leave me in the poorhouse. It seems like this whole town's insane. On the 31st floor, your gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain. On the 31st floor, your gold-plated door won't keep out the Lord's burning rain.
Burrito Brothers. I think Graham Parsons singing that song, or maybe there's a, I think there's at least a version. There's a version of him singing all those tunes. Let's see. What else you guys want to hear? Yeah, see, Chad's with me. Look, Sweethearts of the Rodeo, Graham Parsons, Fine Burrito Brothers. It's all the same. Yeah, man, right? Come on now. Yeah. Saint Ender wants to hear I Do My Father's Drugs. You got it. You got it, brother. Or sister. Whoever you might be.
When the party starts on Monday and Christmas starts in June, when no one minds I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. When every revolution is sponsored by the state, there's no bravery in bayonets and tearing down the gates. If you see me with a rifle, don't ask me what it's for. I fight my father's wars. When hunger strikes a fashion and freedom is routine, when all the the streets in Cleveland are named for Martin Luther King. You will see me at the protest, but you'll notice that I burn my father's flag. So when the party starts on Monday and Christmas starts in June, when no one minds, I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. Well, I do my father's drugs.
Thank you. Thanks again for being here. I'm going to take a few more questions and a few more. I'll do one more song here. You got it. Oh, and happy birthday. Happy birthday, man. Let's see here. Well, not too many more. Let's see. Yeah, I'll end with this one. I'll end with one of these two hymns here, because that's always a good way to go out on things. I do want to say I will be back here next week, same bat time, same bat place. But here's the catch. It will be under a different name, because this week I got reached out to by a dude named Briscoe, who has a show called this, The Song Show. He has a radio show about songwriting called The Song Show, and I totally roughed his name. That's messed up, man. Can't have that. So I told Brick, and also it's just as a general policy in life, I don't get into disputes with people named Brick. I just don't do that. So I told him, my bad, man. You know, we'll make it all right. So next week I'll be back, same place. I'll have a different name for it, but it'll be the same exact show. Bring some friends with you next time. Tell some friends about it. And while you're at it, go check out the song show, the actual song show by Briscoe. And my bad, Brick, if you're watching, thank you for being understanding, man. I really appreciate you. I'm going to leave you guys with this. We always appreciate when you buy a ticket to our show here. If you don't have the funds to do it, I get it. I've been there before. Don't worry about it. But if you do feel like kicking in something for the show, that'd be great. And otherwise, I'll leave you with this, and I'll see you next week.
I am the day, I am the dawn, I am the darkness coming on. And I'm once, I'm twice, I am the whole, I'm just a slice. Some call me gone, some call me here, none are wrong, none are near. I am right now, I am back then, I will return, don't ask me when. I am the disappointed kiss, I am the unexpected harvest. I am the old Kentucky home, I am the son who runs the forest. I have done wrong, I will do wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing wrong. And I am faith, I am belief, except for when I'm not. I am the teeth of champions, I am rust and water out. And I am sleep, I am breathing, I'm the missing of the passing seasons. I am the brush, I am the stroke, some sickness come to the best of folks. I am renewed, I am just made, I am unchanging. I'm a pasture fenced about the edge, I am Dakota thunder raging. In by my shoes, and by my feet, and by my soul in wonder. I am the tracks we've laid above, I am the tunnel running under.
Big thank you to Michaela Anne. Thanks to you guys for listening. Thanks for buying a ticket if you can. Thanks for telling a friend if you can. And I will see you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on whatever platform you're watching it. Have a great week, guys. Peace.